Okay, guys, welcome. Today we are going to try Copilot CLI, and this is what we have. So, we have plenty of command line interfaces that is going to help us to develop software better. Now, without further ado, I already installed it with. Uh, let's actually start from scratch. Let us remove this .NET text chooser and let's make dir assets. And we're gonna move our splash to assets, okay? All right, now we have a clean directory. We're gonna call Copilot. While Copilot is loading, let's see. So we have 0.1, I'm sure the version has. And we're gonna get a full impression of what's going to happen. We're gonna build some software and see what happens. Now, let us get started. So, what are you guys in the mood for? Visual programming language, or are we going to do something more productive? We're going to build, let's actually do a bit of vibe coding before we do anything. So let's see if I say, let's ask it a question. What is a good programming language that you can write in? Okay. You can actually use voice comments. And that's one of the best things about. So we're going to create our, this is what's happening. Let's do a bit of fundamental teaching here, okay? Let's create, let me tell you what is going on, okay? We have this, and we have that, okay? And I'm going to show you what I mean that people are doing vibe coding a little bit wrong, okay? So let's kind of think about the issue in a more broad way, okay? On one end, okay, we have what we would call, well, I don't know how to cancel. Let me actually use Inkscape, okay? Let's use Inkscape for that purpose. We're gonna think about the issue on a fundamental level so you can actually see what I mean by vibe coding, okay? Or language models assisted software development. Now, we have this, okay? We have our thinking brain and we have the output. So we have here okay, we have inputs, okay? We have inputs, we have the processing, or let's just call it colloquially AI tools, and we have artifacts. So what do we want? Well, the inputs can be initially our way of interacting with the computer is through clicks, code, voice. So these are the modalities, right? The ways that we are telling the computer, giving the information to the computer, okay? So we can also have text in here too. The AI tools are, CLI agents. They are chatbots and other stuff, MCP, and whatever is key. It's hard to keep up with everything, but this is what we have so far. Artifacts is the result that we are looking for, right? Code, images, videos. Okay. Now, what we're going to basically use the modalities of uh, text for now. Okay. We're gonna ask questions. Okay. We're gonna ask the AI questions, and we'll see what it comes up with. Now, let's make it easy for the AI. Good programming languages that it's good at: um, Python, JavaScript, Go. Why don't we use C Sharp? Okay? Okay. Let us use C Sharp, ASP.NET in this project. Okay? And this, okay. So the CLI has the thing where step by step tells you what you're supposed to do. But why don't we check if we have things installed on our computers, okay? Let's go, yes. And now it says PowerShell is not available. Why not? PowerShell is not available. Okay, so we have to install PowerShell. Okay, so let's install PowerShell. It seems like it's this thing that we have to do, prerequisites. Once we do it, we don't have to do it again. Okay, so let's install it. Can we use winget? Okay, we're gonna use this command. We're gonna create a new tab. In fact, we're going to duplicate this, and we're gonna copy the path. Okay, so let's copy the path here, and we're gonna copy winget, and we're gonna install it. Okay. What I like about these things, once you do it, you don't have to do it again. So it's gonna install PowerShell for us. All right. And remember, we are basically okay. Our goal is to get an impression of. So it's gonna ask us. We're gonna say yes. Okay. Now, while we are going, okay, we installed. Okay, let's try that again. Try again. Okay. All right. Remember, once this happens, we don't have to do it again. I think we have to quit this. Okay. Let me quit this, and let's give me a second. So to launch, all right, all we have to do is type Copilot, and let's see what we have. Okay. Now, can you set up a .NET project web application for us? Which do you recommend? Okay, Blazor, Pages, or MVC? Which one can you write better? That's one other thing we have to remember is that the AI doesn't know everything. Because the AI doesn't know everything, we have to start with some basic rules actually. First rule, first rule, okay? Let's actually put that here. In action fact, let's the AI doesn't know everything. It's not good at everything. So we're gonna lay some ground rules. Which color should I choose? How about this? Feel it kind of fits. Let's just delete all that. Delete. Okay. New slide. Okay. In fact, let's have a blank file. New. We're gonna create a new presentation. Let's take something that's simpler. You know, I mean not blue. All right. Let's delete that. Okay. There we go. First, ground rules. Uh, it's human, okay, human assisted. Okay, let's call it it's AI assisted development. So not AI driving our car. We are the driver, okay? We are the driver. So this is gonna be a very important thing. We are the driver, so we guide the AI. And let's call it the LLM, just to be more accurate. This is very important. So we guide it and it assists and help us to accomplish the task. So it knows stuff, but we decide how. Okay. With that being said, let's see what response he gave us. It says, okay, he's gonna recommend Blazor. Okay, so in fact, what if I want to do JS? So now, can you recommend me in the chat any uh, all right, let's do MVC. Let us do MVC. I'm gonna start with MVC. So Copilot first. Anybody who's watching right now, this is first time I'm using Copilot, and it tells us that we're gonna use .NET, my new MVC app. I'm gonna say use the folder name. We use it here. It's called Copilot Experiments. Okay, it's going to create the project for us, and we're gonna use the command. So far, it's using Cloud Sonnet, and now let's explore. While this is loading, let's explore the features. Let's go to the docs of Copilot CLI. Okay, remember, um, we can use it in VS Code. We can use it. Where else can we use it? Okay, first impression here. Let's see the docs. Okay, CLI. Can we find the docs? Copilot. All right. Well, see, it's hard to find the docs. So let's actually go back to our document. Let's say impressions. Where are the documentation? And this is when we we have to think in that sense. In what way? We have to think in the sense that, okay, so it has created the project for us. We created the .NET and we have this. Okay, let's see if we can run it. So now let's run it. Let's type .NET run, but we're gonna do watch. Well, watch. Nope. Let's see ls. Okay, cd Copilot experiments. .NET run watch, and it's gonna install. First thing for us, and let's see. So now let's ask the Copilot, what is a good fun app to write? I asked it that question. Why? We're gonna create a random app. Create a fun random app to explore CLI. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. We're just gonna vibe it. Okay, so now we have a Kanban board. Actually, that's gonna be a great way to test this. Why? Because it's gonna help us to explore the basic CRUD, the create, update, delete. So let us say this one. Okay, we are going to implement this. Okay, so okay, let's put that in the chat. Okay, what is the plan? High level. Okay, and let's see what it comes up with. Now on the left we have our chat running. In first impression, it's quite fast. It is quite fast. And now let's open a window. For my general chats, I like to use AI Studio. I like to use Gemini 3 because it seems like I barely use ChatGPT these days, to be honest. Sounds crazy, right? But okay, this is what we are building. Okay, all right. All right. Okay. So how do we proceed? Well, let's have a plan, and it's gonna be a plan within a plan. First, let's see our app. Okay. Let's see what our application looks like as a first ever run. And this is what we have. We have a welcome screen. Okay. So this is .NET. .NET is actually very good. .NET. So remember, we are doing Copilot, CLI, to vibe code in a way. Okay, first, be concise. We are planning. Okay, let's use the Flash for now. Okay, Flash, because it's faster. We are planning broad strokes. Okay, let's go back to our CLI. So remember, we're gonna build that Kanban board. What is a Kanban board actually? Well, Kanban board. Okay. Well, a Kanban board is kind of like this principle, right? It's this principle of, at first, it's like stacks of tasks that we have to do. and we are moving from left to right, and it's a great way to keep track of things visually. Okay, so how can we develop this? Okay, well, right now we have a database. It touches the Holy Trinity. We have interactive UI, real-time communications, and debate persistence. Okay, all right. So we're gonna test the limits of Copilot CLI. All right, and this is the stack we're going to pick. Okay, well, let's see what .NET. We did like a kind of free floating. Um, let's have a new tab. Okay, and let's okay, let's have .NET version. We have .NET 10. Okay, so we're gonna use .NET 10. We use .NET 10. So these are the known facts. So I think let's have a document. We're gonna dogfood it. So first, we're gonna ask it. Okay. Okay, it's gonna update our home page, and it's gonna go. I like .NET. I don't know why I'm not using Visual Studio. I'm going to use Visual Studio actually. I think it's gonna help us. I'm going to use this text editor. Okay. And I'm going to open the project that we have, just so we. I'm using the latest version of Visual Studio, by the way, to kind of give us a better. Now, do we want a light theme or do we want a dark theme? I don't know. I plan to do about an hour of live streaming just to get. Okay. Now, let's see what we have. Well, first question. You can ask it that question. Okay. So let's have a fun thing for now. Well, let's start with Copilot. I'm gonna copy this comment here. I'm gonna paste it here. Okay. So remember, we have Vibe. We're gonna create a Kanban tool. Okay. And first, remember we're using GitHub Copilot, and we're gonna test, some ground rules. We're gonna use this is our tech stack, and we're gonna see what we can do. So Kanban board. Okay. It's a basic way to kind of see plan. First, it's important. Why is it important? Keeping track of the plan is what's going to help us write the software better. So, without further ado, let's refresh. Let's see what we have. So now it's not running. So let's go and let's press enter. So the CLI can run comments for us, and that's what I like about it. And here we go. So now we have our first instance of the board, and it kind of looks good. So now when we click, nothing happens as expected, and there's no drag and drop. There are many things that are, but at least we have a basic UI. So another ground rule we're going to establish is what we called a design system. Why a design system? Well, um, a design system is a way to be consistent. So the CLI tool doesn't go crazy with overwriting the user interface all the time, right? Um, so let's create an initial design system, which is a little bit different from uh, a CSS framework. We can use a subset of it or create our own. Let's call this okay. So now, all right. Okay. Now I'm gonna say I am running multiple windows, and to kickstart, I'm going to have multiple windows doing different things. So first window is going to be the planner. What is a good system prompt that will help us plan the software better? Give me a concise system prompt for the CLI agent to kind of establish the rules. Okay, so now remember, design system is what we want, right? To keep it consistent. Now, we're not gonna worry about this yet. Well, we're gonna make it fun. Okay. What should be a name we should give this? Well, now let's look at the code. Don't be afraid of the code, guys. Code, sometimes we have to look at it. to know what is going on. So let me create another, I'm going to split the tab, and I'm going to call another Copilot instance. This one, I'm going to use a different model. Okay, I'm going to use a different model for this, and I'm going to check the settings. Okay, we have agents. Let's see what agents do we have. We don't have no agents yet. Let's go with listed directories, log in, log out. We have MCP, we have models. What else do we have? We have models. Let's see what models. Okay. Now I have the default. Let's use a free one. You know why I want a free one for this one? So free is unlimited. So we can pick this this free one. So we have a selection, and why not use GPT-5 Mini? Okay. So each of these are going to do something different. Okay. And we are going to have this on our plan. Now, let's have a system prompt to kind of kickstart the agent and to see what we have. Let's have, okay, so this one says, okay, you're a senior software engineer and technical planner, okay? We're gonna build this with Vibecoding tools, and this is our stuff. Okay, so let's copy this. So you see what's going on here? We're going to have this here. Now, first instruction, I'm going to say, store this system prompt in a agents subdirectory. In fact, let me copy this here. Let's say, okay, and I'm going to, in fact, let's do it like that. I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to say store this system prompt in an agents subdirectory for next time we want it. Okay, now I'm going to press this. Okay, now let's do something fun here. In our navbar, can you create a JS animation? Okay, that is a trail that fades, that goes left to right and right to left when it hits the edge. Very simple. Let's change the vibe of the music. Let's have, okay, and let's see what we have. Let's clean our kind of start screen so things are not too crazy, right? Let's kind of trim the fat a bit. Okay, so this is our first system prompt. This tool is going to dog food our tool, okay? So this is what we're gonna build. All right, so system prompt, remember, let's put that in our ground rule. We're gonna say that's a design system, let's say for UI, okay? Second part is we're gonna have agents system prompt. What is an agent system prompt? Well, we want a predictable way to kickstart a sub-process of development. That way, we can always refer to it and come back so that it is consistent and that we have clear expectations for the agents, no matter the tool. Okay, now let's save that. So now let's see what the first task we ask it. We're gonna say yes, and I'm gonna use Visual Studio for my thing. So to break it down, I'm gonna set up the agents and have a basic rule for development. I really want to excuse me. Okay. Now, if you're familiar with .NET, this is our program, and it just kind of configure our app. It's like our settings. We have controllers. We build. We use routing, static assets, and I want to ask it here. I'm gonna use a chat here in our okay in our program.cs. How can we compile use auto while developing? Okay, so remember, this is gonna be important. That's the part that's gonna be important. And let's check. Let's check our localhost to see what we have. Refresh that. I just want to see, and it's broken. 5184. 5184. It is not. Well, I'm going to split this tab here. I'm going to split the tab, and I'm going to .NET watch and run. Well, CD Copilot experiment. I'm gonna say .NET watch and run. Okay, and it has launched. And what did it do? We have this. Let's put everything close together. Okay. All right. I want to save my voice. Okay. You guys ready? There we go. There we go. Now, let's amp it up. We're gonna make it into a mini game. Well, can we have our, well, let's inspect the element. We're gonna inspect element. First, we're gonna move our nav bar into its own partial. Yes. Okay. Move our navigation bar into its own partial. Okay. Yes. All right. Now let's ask Gemini, can we have another system prompt, but this time for the other parts? I want to say we have only 3 agents. We have the senior dev, which kind of has the tech specs. Now we have 2 left. What are these agents in their system prompts? Okay. Now let's look at the code. What did it come up with? It says that, remember, we have to apply this. It's going to apply this. Okay, we're learning how to use it. Save that. And we're going to apply this comment. Let's copy this and install this. This is a runtime compilation. Yes, it's important to have this. I feel like the .NET what did it say? It told us that it's not compatible with .NET 10. It's built into it, so we don't need a separate package. Okay, so we don't need a separate package. So what we can just say is add controllers with views and add runtime compilation, and we have to map razor pages. Does map add razor pages include MVC? We ask questions more. The more questions we ask, the better granular. Okay. Now let's copy our system prompts. Okay. This is the second one. We have the implementer. This is the workhorse. Okay. All right. That's our second agent. Okay. And our third agent, which is the QA vibe validator. So it's QA. It's just going to look for, edge cases detection. Remember, these are just like a general overview. It's going to be updated as we go. Okay. So our third agent. So I think an odd number of agents is good. So all right. So first, okay, we are done with agents. Our agents are, it's going to create that. While this is creating, I want to see, Why does it give this plus minus? Why can't I just have that? Oh, I have to press tab and it accepted it. What's the fix? It's going to look, and it's going to tell us, can I accept that? Accept. We have a little issue here. Let's see the outputs. What does it recommend? And apply this. Tab to accept. Tab to accept. Let's save. Any output? Let's build. Now copy these errors, put them here. Now, I think another insight. Let's just put insights here. Insights is measure twice, cut once. Yes, it gives us speed of development, but at what cost? If we have to keep going back to fix it, we might get a boost of speed, but as the application or program gets more complex, it will be harder to manage. Especially with the limited context window. All right. So let's ask you the question. Apply that. Accept that. Save. Okay. Seems like people prefer so Copilot. We're not using the Copilot fully yet. We're using the chat. And now we're going to upgrade our program.cs and apply this. Let's see. Says the using is not necessary. Let's remove it. Can we build? I think it's because it's already running. So let me just Control C this. Let's, I know what is going on. Let me simply restart the app always. Okay. In fact, I'm going to go to View. It seems like our audience loves dark themes. And I'm going to go to Project. Theme. Not bad. Okay. Let's see if we have our agents file created. Remember, slow is fast, fast is slow. Here's our agents. It is probably and all right. All right. And what did we put in our meta agents? Let's see. Our agents are the architect. Okay. We have the architect. Okay. We have architect. In fact,
catacombs we go. Hazard lights blinking in time. Security laughing at the show. Saying you kids out your mind, but his feet say something else. Little sly when he checks that shell. Whole world feels small right now. Just this beat and ourselves.
Okay, so we have the animation. So now can we have the animation in the footer as well? Okay, let's see. Let's see. So all we have to do is just, I could copy the JavaScript, so we're gonna duplicate the JavaScript. So we're gonna say, have a similar animation for footer, but different color, and opposite, different color, and just a propagating grid circuit, left to right, right to left, and have it its own partial. Okay, so now remember the code. If we go into our views, now we have the shared view, our navigation bar. Now it's in its own partial. So when we touch the code next time, it's going to be just right there. So now let's check our agents page. Let's see what happens here. Let's go to this. Let's, that's the only thing I hate about .NET. You have to always stop and run it again, but it's a compiled language, so you always have to rebuild. So remember, our title is we're basically using GitHub Copilot exclusively to build our app, and we're starting from scratch. And let's basically, we have an error. Okay, what error is that? It says we have to restart. Okay, let's go to agents. So these are the agents that we have. Okay, we have the architect, we have the coder, we have the reviewer, and we have our meta. Remember, it's a technical planner. we have workhorse, we have the reviewer. Okay, now let's go in our agents page. Okay, now it's your opportunity to look at agents. How did you improve the UI? Let's check our only thing. Okay. Let's see what it says. I'm gonna say always. Let's go back. Let's refresh. It's broken. And there we go. So we have our animation. So it's just a fun kind of way to, okay. So what's the margin of this? We're gonna go here. We're gonna select our footer element. We cannot. Why can't we? Hope it's not doing any. This is our footer, okay? And what is, we're gonna have a comment. This comment is going to be our footer is bland, so is our nav bar. We need footer. Reduce height by 70%. Our nav bar, enable blending. Well, what is that blending? Okay. Branding. Style. Okay. Now let's ask Gemini. Gemini is a bit more creative in my opinion for that. So let's just have it. All right. Just done. Show me a high level outline of our plan so far. Just compressed, not a lot of detail, just so I can see where we are. And then we run it. In fact, now I think we can just use our Pro. Okay, let's use Pro. Why? Okay. Now this is where we are at. And okay. Meta thing, I think we need to have branding, and I need like a nice techie kind of 80s style logo, or 90s like early age computing companies. What would be a good? Can we use SVG, or do we have to have a font ourselves? What do you suggest for the font in the presentation? It's just a text but stylized with like cut lines. Okay. Up next, design system of our UI. Because UI is fun. So it's gonna be like a sandbox. Okay, let's see. A name for our project. Description. Like a plain dump slash task slash agent observer. You see, I'm building in public here. If you miss out, then you miss out. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to see. And let's see the progress of our agent. The branding. Here is our branding. Okay. Core dump. Then company bets. So interesting. Find a non-existing. Hey. Yeah. We're just gonna. It's like an experiment, right? Let's check our agent. Alright, let's check our agent's UI. Let's refresh. Why dark theme? Let's remove this inspector. Ooh. Well, I think. Okay. Remove edge, padding or margin in this one. Can I inspect this? I'm gonna go here, and the name of the component is called container. Container to fit mindful. Keep light for now. Insert for notice. Okay. Now we're just gonna keep it at Gemini Mini because I want to show that we can actually, we don't need like the smartest AI. We can use that for the planner. Okay, so let's see what Gemini has come up with. And zero page. Stylized. Just a quick context package to overcome that will SVG logo and tagline. We don't have a design system yet, so let's see. Now, let's see what we have. It's much better. It's much better. All right, that's much better. Okay, fix line spacing. More compress. And what else do we need to fix? Yeah, that should be good enough. All right. Now we see specificity. I should have say reduce. So here, that's actually a thing I've noticed. So let's write this in our thing. It's the rule. Let's say it's specificity. So let's duplicate this and insights. We're gonna say specificity. It should be reduce spacing by 40%. Compress text vertically, right? This is a much better way to give instructions. Okay, let's see what Gemini has come up with, right? And let us see. Let's keep it like that. Copy. Let's colors. And let's see what it comes up with. So we're just creating the branding. And let's see what our AIs look like right now. So this is our agents. Okay, let's refresh. Actually, let's give it, okay, so compress margins. So let's reload this. Let's refresh. Let's click. It's loading. Well, let's see what we come up with. Refresh. There we go. So let's go to agents. Okay. So here, you see the line height. Let's inspect that to see. I think the line height is too big. So what we're going to say is reduce the line height of what? Well, we're going to say that's what. When you prompt the AI like loosely, it doesn't know what to do. So we have to be here, system prompt container. Okay, let's go here, copy. I'm going to say reduce line height to more standard and while not proper text. Okay, now let's see what our UI agent. So we have the reviewer, we have our coder that can do everything, in our QA. In Meta, I'll come back to this later, okay? So let's see what we can remove this. Sometimes it's better to just go by hand and remove some stuff. Like this, let me just remove that, okay? Done. So we remove this, let's go in our controllers. It's so much faster, right? To just do it by hand. Let's just go here, remove this. Bam. And we go to the views. By the time we prompt we save our tokens too. Just delete this, okay? It's like a template. Delete. Bam. Done. And we are more familiar with the code as well. So now we're gonna have to init git. That would be a great time to create a Git repository. And let's This is my GitHub. So let's go to Splash. So here, and Visual Studio, and a readme. Copilot experiment is good, but then push. Okay. Like I said, you guys, if you're not okay. Now, agents. Let's see if he has a proper display. Yeah, let's see what Gemini comes up with. Okay, so we start like that. And for our viewers that are just coming in, specificity is important. We just fix this. We have to say reduce by. So we have verb, we have the target, we have action to perform, right? Plus intent. That way the AI knows exactly better what to do. For example, I can say reduce, or I can say, okay, move element navbar to button. If I have an ID, I put the ID here. That way, it's much better. Remember, it's AI assisted development, not AI driving our car. We are the driver, okay? So let's refresh this. Let's go. It's waiting for a file change. And we have a compiling error. In fact, we're going to tell this is an agent that's just going to be our debugger. So your role is to debug and fix errors. Okay, this is the first error that we gave. So this agent is the architect. This agent is the UI, user interface. This agent is our debugger. And this is our server. Okay, so we're going to say yes. And for general questions about the application, we're going to just ask questions here. And remember, context management is important. So let's type this here. Let's say context management. Very important because our, first we have limits, usage limits. So we have to manage context and requests. So to save token usage. All right. So with that being said, let's go back to our application. What is the issue? Okay, keyframe is interpreted as a Visual syntax to make it literal. Okay, I think for that we shall know that into its own CSS file. Do we use razor that CSS or okay? So why? Because now let's check our application. And this is what we have so far. Okay. So we need to remove this. Remember, we don't have to ask the AI to do everything for us. Sometimes we can just do it on ourselves. Let's remove that SVG. It's in the nav bar, right? We have to know where the code is. Otherwise, the code is gonna get too complex, and then we're gonna be lost. We won't know. We're gonna be so. That's why nav bar. So we go to nav bar, and I have this SVG. If the AI makes a mistake, just fix it. Just fix it. You can do it by hand too. Bam. Save that. And let's just call it, let's just remove are we gonna say AI assisted, not driven. This is our tagline for today. It's gonna change. Right? See? Auto refresh. So now we have our agents. We have the architect. Let's create a new agent. That agent is going to be our debugger, fixer. So let's we have tasks now. Let's refresh. I think we have to reload. Okay, and it's loading. So once our context is becoming too crazy, we kill it and then we come back later. So add to navbar, then put create a docs file, a docs directory. Then what are we gonna do with it? We're going to put knowledge. It's like a second brain. Then, okay. Then let us put our plan there. Simplified version. Okay. So now let's check our. Remember, we are the driver. We guide the LLM. It assists us. It knows stuff, but we decide. Okay? These are the rule. Second, where are the documentations? Okay? So we're gonna have the docs folder. So our docs grow as our app grows. Make sure we make it synchronized. Okay. Now we have a design system for our user. We have agent system prompts. We have insight. Remember, measure twice, postpone. What does that mean? That means to plan more than we prompt. Because why do we go really fast and then we have to go back and fix it, right? We might get a boost of speed, but as the application or program gets more complex, it will be harder to manage with a limited context window and limits. Let's say n token limits. Okay. Now, what else have we learned? Specificity, right? We have to be specific. Be specific. Tell the AI exactly what you want it to do. Okay? So now let's go back to our, we have a docs. Let's see if that has appeared. Not yet. Well, add to navbar. Okay. Let's always, that's gonna rebuild and let's refresh. It's gonna take a while to load because it's going to rebuild, and let's see what we have. We have docs, we have agents, yay! So now let's create our agents. In our /agents, okay. Please create system instruction for, in fact, we're gonna do that in our Gemini. Just, see, I lied, I said I only use Copilot, but okay. Can you create system instruction for a debugger agent that is there to just watch for errors in our server logs or build logs so our app can be debugged? I think that's important during development. Short system instructions. Okay, so we're gonna put this in our, we have our agents. Okay, so let's refresh our app. Tasks. These are the tasks we've done. We have project set up. We have completed the planning. We are going to go into this and we're going to update this. Okay. For a debugger agent. Okay. Please add this new agent in our list. Then also update our task documentation, our task page. And we're going to go into our thing. We're going to copy that system instruction. Okay. And let's copy this. And let's paste it here. Question: how do we plan to update our task as we go along? Okay, now let's look at our user interface. All right, we've done a few things here. Let's go to docs. All right, so we have a board. Let's check if we have that database model set up. Okay, let's go to models. That's why I love .NET. .NET is nice and views. Okay, we're gonna create a model. All right, then we don't have to worry about that yet. Now let's we're gonna create our models. Done. Now let's ask the agent to give us. Okay, we have a debugger prompt. Let's check this. The debugger. There we go. This is our outer agent that's in charge of debugging. And as we're progressing, we're going to create a new Git repo. And let's have a git ignore. We have a git ignore. Okay, so we're gonna commit all, but we're gonna say initial. We're gonna say initial commit, and we're gonna commit all. Nope. Let's see what it says here. Stage commit all. Nope. Okay. Well, let's call our debugger. In our repo, currently, we are unable to commit. Why? That's a good test for Copilot. Is it smart enough to do that? Now, okay, agent page updated. Our task page is updated. How do we plan to update tasks as we go along? Manual updates. We edit. Better feature approach. I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna create a start task. Load task dynamically. Add. Okay. What is a good middle ground? Okay. Now let's go to our user interface. What do we need in our user interface? Agents. Okay. Our footer. Let's just add branding to our footer. Okay. Add branding to our footer. All right. So now we have the branding to our footer, right? So now what's next? We have the architect, we have the coder, the reviewer, and the debugger. Okay. So let's go to our project setup. Oh my God, look at that. We have that as well. So this is how we are going to develop our software. Make sure we look at the code. So let's add that in our thing. We have to say understand the code. Understand the code. I'm gonna say it the third time. Understand the code. All right. Now, hi. How are you? All right. So now let's check. Alright, guys. Our first MVP is going to have this, our big plan. Okay, I'm gonna brainstorm with Gemini. Okay, I am building this kind of system in a way dog fooding this Kanban board slash agent slash a task manager. Now the issue is I want a way that's like as I am prompting the agents that I can update our task list and mark things complete or in pending or in progress or report issues or as we go along. Now, Git is a good way to keep track of artifacts, which is the generated code or edited code or deleted code or comments that are going to be run. So how do we sync the completed tasks with the code that is generated? Maybe we can pre-plan our code that we're going to edit, but then what if when we hit an issue and we have to pivot this, they call this issue liminal state. How do we do that? What is your plan? Remember, I am prompting the application and then we're building as we go. Okay, so let's check our footer. We have branding and footer. I think dark navbar, dark footer. Dark navbar, dark footer. Then give me summary of what you have worked on. Okay, so now you see things are progressing. Now, yes. Now, just gonna read. I'm too early. I wanna wake up. But before I go to bed, okay, I'm going to come back again to, in a way, I will be back again. But what I want to do is create something fun. All right. Okay. Go in our agents page and add that on our summary doc as an entry, like a work log for you. Okay. All right. Let's see what has come up with. Manual updates. And what else we have? Model and database. Okay. I'm gonna give some ideas. Okay, let's all right. The important thing, we're going to have ideas tab. Okay. I'm going to clear this chat. Okay. And I'm going to create a new chat. But this time, I'm going to go with a model that is free. Why? Because I'm going to use Haiku. Okay. I'm going to use Haiku. Why? Simple. Sorry guys, you didn't see me. Alright. Create an ideas controller. This will crowd ideas. Why? Simple log entries. As I type new ideas, I can save it as an entry. UI idea, sample, I would say bottom, 20 bucks, control, enter, create entry, show train, reverse, earliest, bottom, cancel, like a chat, a self chat. What? Okay. Now let's monitor our good. We're managing our context really well. Okay. Not bad. It's going to create a few things. Okay, let's see what we come up with. Should be a dark theme now. Well, no, so I have to restart this. Let's just restart this. And then let's run it. In the meantime, can you please improve this UI based on... I just want to see what it comes up with. In the meantime, let's check. And we have not that yet. Refresh. Nope. Remember, okay, we have a dark footer. Great. All right. So let's go to our tasks. And we have this. We have these agents. Now we have the agents viewer. We have the layout optimizations. Now, this is what's in progress. Okay, so now Let's go to our middle ground. We have the memory dump. Okay. And we have the backend reader. We have the front end renderer. But we leave that for now. We're gonna go with the classic method. We're gonna have a tab here. Okay. So this brings us to the code. What are we gonna do? We're gonna basically say add to navbar. All right. Let's see how long it takes. That's it. Let's check. Ideas. There we go. Now, our user interface is lacking. I think we're gonna come back to it. How would you implement?
Knows my name like we long time. Blue tag on a review. Says I'm parked where I shouldn't be. God shook head when we pulled through.
See, that's the first issue we have with Copilot. It's kind of losing it. So we're gonna end this one. If it starts to go crazy, okay, add agents, okay, slash coder. Let's see coder. This agent now, we're gonna say let's take a screenshot once that implementation is over. Has a good We have 6 minutes left. Okay, so we're gonna end the stream in about 6 minutes. I think, well, okay, UI concepts for fun. And this is our application. Ooh, we got an error. What's going on here? Let's ask our debugger agent what is going on. And it's gonna check that for us. But in the meantime, for fun. So our first showcase item is a splash screen, animated. Starts with a it's gonna start, let's just pause this, start with a grid of, I don't know, squares, shadowy CRT that moves, shuffle to reveal text and the robot. That come. That's it. Now let's check our application. All right, what error do we get? ADT4. Let's check again. Maybe it's not running. Okay, so we have to go to run our app. .NET Raj run. Did we build? There we go. So let's look at the IDE UI. Wonderful. So I can say this is my first idea. Save. All right. So now I think we can compress general. Okay. Right now, our input should be floating. So at the message panel, you can freely scroll. What do you think of the music? Let's think of this one. Okay, so we have an issue with the .NET Run. Let's see. Let's refresh that. Okay, let's refresh. Only thing I don't like with the .NET. Please like and subscribe. Like, if you're watching, you're gonna learn a lot. So we are gonna. There we go. Look at that. Now should be ifs we can fix by ourselves. Let's just go to controller. We're gonna go to showcase index, and we're just going to the row, and we're gonna do the same over here. Refresh. There we go. Wait. Now. Refresh. There we go. Wait. Now. I think we're done with the. Thank you for watching. But look at that. Our idea maker. So first idea for good luck. Hey, so this is where we're going to collect our ideas. Okay, we can have a bug. Okay, let's go. Improvement. Call at agent and task. Okay. Implement a design system consistent. Okay. Yes, sir. I'm gonna say, hey, my app so far is going well. I have a minimum viable product. Now, the issue is that I think we need a design system for the user interface, right? So what do you recommend? We start with typography, and then we move on to like basic cards and buttons, links, but we want to keep a minimal functional elements that is consistent. So our CSS is also consistent. So we need to do a survey of our current templates to find patterns, and then we can implement. Okay. Ask as prompt first for the agent to know what to do. Okay, so now let's check our app. So let's have that. That's an improvement. So let's go with general. So the idea is dog fooding. Okay, and we're gonna say research. Okay, more like explain this concept. All right. See, we have our. So what else we have? We have our agents. This is our agents we're building. Let's actually have a. Okay, we're gonna say log entry. It's going to be the core idea is that we are building an application that will build itself. Okay, that's the whole thing. In fact, we should put that in our homepage. Let's actually go in our homepage. Okay, let's clear this. Okay, we are build. Okay, let's say. Let's create a new. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's see our user interface now. Okay, so we're gonna put it here. We're gonna have a tagline. Now I can just type it. This is the part where we don't need the AI. let's just go here, right? Let's just copy this, and we're just gonna say, you know, building an application that will build itself. And this is where we can delegate the AI. We can just go here, right? We can go to Copilot actions. We can add to the chat, right? We can go here and we just say style this. Okay. And since we want to use like a free model for this, let's use a free model. Let's just go with GPT-5 thingy. And let's have a all right. So now let's look at our user interface. Okay, let's refresh. Let's go to homepage. Building a little bit itself. Let's see the result of the stylize. And I think we have to accept it. So we have to go all the way up and we have to say apply. Let's wait to apply it. All right. Then we just here, we accept that. It's a little wonky for now, but like, remember our message here, I said, right? Not AI driving our car, we are the driver. Let's actually put that in bright letters. We are the driver, right? We guide it. So it's not, okay. We are the, okay. Measure twice, cut once. Those are things we have to drill into our head. Specificity for the AI and also context management. All right, so let's refresh. Let's go here. Let's cut it through the branch. And use, let's go. Okay, now let's refresh this. This is the question we're gonna ask it. We have a problem here. So let's ask our builder. All right, let's just say this. And okay, let's check our user interface. Refresh. All right, it's broken. So let's say yes. I mean, we can read the message. It just says unable to apply. Let's refresh that. And now this is the big task. We're gonna have to ask a big model to do that for us, okay? So we're gonna say, we're not gonna use Opus, we're gonna use Gemini. So we're gonna go to models. We're gonna say a model that can handle a lot of context. So let's go down. For now, we have, let's take a 1x model, okay? Let's see, save this, okay. And let's go with our Gemini. We can edit. And I think this one, I'm gonna ask Gemini proper to do it for us. You know, I have a feeling maybe I'm gonna ask Gemini proper. In fact, just let it do it. Let's do it. Let it do its thing. And let's refresh. All right, guys, I'll come back. Okay. Um, okay. So what is the issue? Let's run the app. While it's doing its thing, let's see what we have. And what we have here is, and there we go. So we have a showcase. Great, 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 great. Let's actually see that full screen again. It goes well with the tangana. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so our app is building, it's scanning, it's doing what it has to do. I'm gonna say, hey, it's making edits. Once that's done, we're gonna commit with the Git. So, all right. Let's check our style guide. Let's fail to determine the port for redirect. Looks like style guide. Not yet. We need light theme for now. But basically, look at our existing templates for all templates in the site. Compare with our CSS. Then we simplify. We make sure every element is the same. So that's it's quite fast, to be honest. I think that's the part. Again, I think another insight, models. No one size fits all. Some models are better at some things than others. So the skill is to know which for which speed, accuracy, and okay, actually, all right. I think once this is done, I am done. And let's just say apply. Did you apply this to all our templates? I don't believe that. right. Well, thank you for watching, whoever you were, and we're gonna continue tomorrow. So we're gonna do a recap, and then we're gonna keep going. So Copilot CLI day 2 next time. Okay? Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.